Hey, I'm Annie Nash with the Unleashed Advisors team here at eXp Realty, and today I'm here with a special guest along with my husband, Craig Nash, and we're here with our photographer, Zac Gudakov, and we're going to talk to you about why we know realtors are pretty terrible at marketing. So we're going to ruffle some feathers today, and hopefully we're going to teach and add value so that we can all get better at this also, because we're not always that great at marketing either. So welcome.
I guess I'm not special, so.
I mean, you are, but today we're going to talk to Zac.
So
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. So before we jump right in and just talk about some of the challenges that we as real estate agents and realtors in the market have with marketing, let's talk a little bit about you and what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I run a real estate media company here in the upstate, and you guys are my clients, obviously.
Yep.
Got into real estate media about 5 years ago. Was door dashing while starting my business. So I would door dash at night, making like $30 a night. And then during the day, I would just be reaching out to agents, trying to do any free shoots that I could. And then finally I landed, he's like the biggest realtor in Seattle at the time, probably still is now. And he actually brought me on full time because I didn't have much experience. So he brought me on full time. And then after about 1.5 years of shooting $1 million houses and everything like that, I started my own business and then made my way to the upstate, and here I am now. So,
Yep.
how'd we meet?
So when I moved to the upstate, I was still trying to get my name out there. So work was kind of slow the first couple months. So I actually got a gig with a company called Home Job, and they're like all over the US. They don't have employees, but they just kind of do little contracts with photographers, and they'll like reach out to you and say, hey, like we have a shoot in Greenville, 24 photos. Can you go do it? This is your pay. This is your travel fee. And then you could either accept it or decline it over their app. So one day I just got this little shoot, and it happened to be for you. So went in there, and then we just kind of connected later down the road and started doing more.
So let me back it up just a little bit. So we had been using another photographer, and she was quite a ways from us. And so it was a challenge sometimes just to be able to connect. And so I was like, last minute, I needed a photographer, and eXp, we've got these preferred partners or whatever, and Home Job. Whatever it was. They were like, hey, yeah, go here. You just sign up online, and the rates were reasonable. And I was like, I need it now. Okay, whatever. And I put it in there. I was like, sweet, I got a photographer. And you showed up. And it was funny to me because you came in and you just started shooting. And we were inside, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody in the backyard. And so I went out, introduced myself. Hey, yeah, just, tell us to be out of the way, whatever. I was clueless at that time. I didn't know it. I thought, I'm doing pretty good. I got my listing. I got a photographer. We're going to get some beautiful photos. It's going to be great. And then as you were walking out, I was like, hey, do you have a card? Because, I wanted to connect a little bit just to be able to go directly to you instead of having to go through the app. And I noticed your hat. And for me, that was big because your hat, I don't remember all the stuff on it, but it had a cross, and it was like, there was a fish, and there were some other things on there. I was like, all right, this is cool. And yeah, I called you because we had another one probably not much later, like within the month.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, because my other photographer, she again was out. She wasn't able to do it. It was going to be a week before she could get out there. And I was like, I need it quicker. And so talked to you and just got to talking a little bit more about some of the things that we could do besides just listing photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now 1.5 years later, and you guys are 1 year into pretty much every day there's something being posted, or every other day, and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would have told me I'd be on the camera a lot, I would have said, no way. But here I am.
How did we get you behind the camera?
I don't know. That's a mystery.
Well, I remember our first month of marketing, you guys came to my apartment, and I set up the most terrible set. I mean, it still looks better than what most people would have, And I actually played it back for some friends not too long ago, and they were like, this set looks great. But now I'm like, it was in my living room. We had one lamp, one plant from Target that was like, I returned it. It was really expensive, but it just did not do the job. And some very cheap lights that I kind of put up. The sound was good. We had these mics. Yeah. The sound was good. But now I look back, and 2 studios later, we're sitting here now, and I'm like, wow, that was a joke. I don't know how they ever hired me back then,
But it was cool because so for me, watching you grow, help us grow, has been a fun part of the journey too. Because we started in your living room, and but I think we only did it once there because you immediately went into the studio and then outgrew that studio and into this studio, which is much bigger. But it's more than just the stuff we've been doing, the podcasts and the videos. I mean, you help guide the whole process because let's back up just a little bit because we don't know a whole lot. We didn't know a whole lot. Now what we know is from you and from what we've searched ourselves. But usually it's like, hey, Zac, what do you think of this? And sometimes you're like, mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, that's the thing a lot of people think, because they watch me and a lot of my friends, they'll see that I'm always posting. I always have shoots. I always have work, and they think it's so easy, right? You just walk around with the camera. I've had a lot of jobs in my life, and this has got to be one of the most challenging because, unlike a lot of industries, marketing can change every day, and there's always someone doing something a little bit better, a little bit different, and that's why I had to always keep switching studios and everything like that, because you don't just buy one set and you can go a year. Clients are going to leave you if you're not, and they're going to leave you if you're not bringing results, or if you're not coming up with new ideas, new scripts and things like that. So in this line of work, you always have to be on top of your game, always learning, always innovating, and then bringing that to your clients. And that's why with you guys, whenever we're doing video and you guys bring me an idea, maybe this idea was good a month ago, but now I know it has to be better because it was a month ago when this was a thing, and now it's not the trend anymore. So
yeah, for sure. That is, you make me look good. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, because if it was left up to me, we'd be terrible. So
yeah, quality is one of those things. A lot of videographers will say, oh, you could just shoot with your iPhone. You can, but you kind of can't if you want, so quality definitely makes realtors look better. Yeah, you could have a blurry image and everything like that, but if you have that crisp 4K, good audio as well, good lighting, it goes a long ways. It makes everyone look good. Yeah.
So let's start with, what is one thing that you see realtors do maybe daily when you're working on all the other marketing that you do, that you would say, please stop doing this one thing?
I posted about it yesterday, and I'll just bring it up because that's the first thing that comes to the top of my head is using Canva.com. A lot of realtors use it because it is quick. They provide templates for use, and I get that part. But there's a book that Patrick Bet David wrote, and it's called Think Like the Enemy. And not that realtors have enemies, but they do have competitors. And you always have to think, can anybody use Canva? Yes, they can. Can everybody get on a podcast? Yeah, they can, but they're probably not going to. Can everybody do a YouTube channel? Yes, but they're probably not going to. So if you can start thinking outside the box and not just, whenever something's free, like Canva's not necessarily free, but they do have some free stuff. Whenever anything is free, it comes at a cost. You start looking just like everybody else. And so that's probably one of my biggest things is I see realtors left and right posting the same templates from Canva. They just literally type in real estate agent in the search bar and it throws out a whole bunch of, they're nice, but everybody uses them. And it'll say something along the lines like, are you looking for a realtor to sell your home? And then they just kind of edit in their photo, their phone number and everything like that. And that's a very lazy and cheap way to do things. And maybe it worked a couple years ago when that was a new thing, but now everything is video. When you go home, you turn on the news, or you turn on Netflix, or you go on TikTok. And nobody goes on Facebook to look at your photo post that says like, sell your home for top dollar. Nobody cares about that. And so what I would encourage people to do, even if you're a realtor who has no money, take your phone out every single day and start doing a 30-second reel showing where you are, whether you're touring a neighborhood with buyers, whether you're with your family at the beach. Do something along the lines where there is video content and not just a Canva post. People connect with authentic content and they don't want to connect with your logo or your brand colors on an image. They want to connect with you. So if you can get on video, you don't have to hire myself or somebody else if you don't have the budget for it. That's not at all where I'm getting at. You have to take out your phone, because everyone has one, and just get on video.
Yeah, the one thing that probably changed my mind about videos is I heard it over and over and over and over again. At every conference we went to, everything that we've heard, everybody was telling you got to get on the camera, got to get on the video. So I was like reluctantly to do it, and I did it. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've come a long ways in the video process. I mean, I thought our last video together about the tacos, Mother Cluckers, was awesome. So yeah. So it's just been a progression down the line and getting there. So yeah.
I think the thing that I've heard a lot is because you talk about, conferences and different icon panels and everything about what we should be doing, and the getting in front of the camera is huge. And the statement that had the most impact for me was, your halfway is way better than the perfect thing that's not done.
Yeah.
And that is what makes me, okay, well, I need to do it. It's not perfect. It's not where I want it to be, but at least it's something, and it'll get better.
Yeah, I had a call with a agent the other day, and it was a marketing call, and she wants to start doing YouTube, and her biggest issue was that she wanted to make everything perfect before ever even getting on video. And so what I told her is, let me worry about making it perfect, polishing everything, making you look good. Your biggest thing is you just have to commit. And that's the problem a lot of realtors have, is they don't have the cameras, they don't have the drone, they don't even know the right videographer who can do that. Because a lot of videographers just say, hey, I could do it, but they don't have a proven track record of being able to coach their agents, having that quality, being able to bring results. They don't have that. And I don't even blame realtors for not starting YouTube yet or marketing, because they don't know where to start. So they need to find someone who has that proven track record, can get them on video, can make them comfortable on video, and bring them results at the end of the day.
Yeah. To just plug you a little bit more. I mean, you've done amazing things for us. We tried to get in front of the camera before we sat down and had coffee with you to walk through what does this look like. And I remember that meeting because I was like, let's do one a month. And Craig looks at me, he's like, no, we're doing 4. And I about fell out of my chair because I was like, it's not an insignificant budget to do that. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, it's worth it. And it's one that, I mean, I'm not going to cut that back because we see the results.
Yeah. Has it paid for itself and then some?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is that you're right. I mean, we walk into the studio. Today's, this is our first video for this month today. But in months past, I've been able to come in and know I'm thinking about these deals and this thing and the other things that are going on. But I know, here's my topics. We're going to talk about this. And if I mess up, you're going to be like, back up. Let's do this again. And you're going to, because the videos come out and every time I'm like, we look all right. We look like we know what in the world we're doing.
But we don't. So.
We don't. But it's because of you and having somebody, an expert on our team to do that for us.
So the coolest thing I've found lately is just the fact that I can go in the Costco and somebody can come up to me and go, hey, man, I watch you on video all the time. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you get a phone call from somebody in Oklahoma. Hey, I seen your video and I want to use you as my realtor.
Yeah.
That's been the most rewarding for me, is to get a phone call. And I know it's a number that I don't know. And I'm getting over you just answer the phone. So I just answer the phone. And it's somebody, she was a very worried mama. her daughter and her son-in-law were moving from Oklahoma here. And to get the call, hey, I saw your video. I just feel like I've seen your stuff and I can trust you. Or you're going to take care of my daughter. And I was like, absolutely. So for me, that was huge.
Yeah.
And it's because of what you have taught us.
Yeah. And I remember our first meeting. I always tell agents, you will 100% get results, but you're going to get results in two different ways. So you'll either get results from your videos because the algorithm just takes off and your camera presence is amazing and people love you and reshare your videos, and you'll get traffic just straight from your YouTube, or you'll get clients in a different way, which is your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your TikTok. That is your brand. And realtors, most of the brokers will tell them, talk to 50, 100 people a day or whatever. Well, every person you talk to should get a link to your YouTube channel. And when they get a link to your YouTube channel, and if they're choosing between you and 3 other agents, they're going to choose you every time because you are not only the local expert, but you're just showing who you are on camera, and you can't really hide that.
Yeah, you become very authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we can come and get all dressed up and stuff, but this is who we are.
Yeah. Your YouTube channel, that's your credibility. You don't even have to sell yourself. Like, that's my problem with Canva and all these posts that are just cheap and lazy posts. You're showing your clients that you have nothing to really offer, you know? You just have a track record of 100 Canva posts that say, hey, I'm the top realtor here. It's like, really? You have no content. You're not on camera. You're hiding behind your lime green logo, and that's it, you know? Yeah. And no one's going to hire you in the long run.
Yeah. And I think that's where we were talking about, we're going to ruffle some feathers today because, I mean, when I started, it was easy to get, and I'm not good at it, but it was easy to go into Canva. Hey, I've got the business account or whatever, so it's got my logo stuff, it's got my brand, I can get my colors, and I can make a really pretty post.
And you can schedule them and do like 100 at a time.
Yeah, but nobody interacts with them.
No.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right. It's hard to take that. It's a hard pill to swallow, I guess.
Yeah, but if you have video posts that are being scheduled every week, and there's just something new, your clients have a reason to now follow you because they know there's some entertainment there, there's some value. But if all it is just, you know, oh, I'm doing an open house, or hey, new listing, it's like, that's great and all for your sellers and maybe your buyers, but to the people who are not ready to buy and sell, there's no reason for them to follow you. They don't care about your new listing or your open house that has coffee and donuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. How are they going to remember you?
Yeah.
They won't.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for you. What houses do you like to shoot better? The $1 million ones or 250? And
yeah, of course, those $1 million, $7 million listings are fun, but I get most out of the homes where my realtors want to actually do something. Yesterday we shot a $750,000 home with one of my agents, Elena, and we were scripting for like an hour, and then we would shoot, and we're coming up with new ideas. And even though the house is not like a $5 million house, but it's fun to always be trying to think outside the box. And sometimes even the $250,000 homes are fun, because if you could make your realtor look like a top realtor selling a $250,000 house, then the $7 million homes will be easy. But so I guess it's different with every house. But yeah, of course, those bigger homes are fun because they might have a pool, they might have a lake. You can get your realtors on a jet ski and all that good stuff.
Those are the fun ones when we get to go play.
Yeah.
So what is one thing that you see agents doing that you're like, hey, that's cool, you should keep doing that?
Definitely the ones who are getting in front of the camera, of course. But one thing I will say, don't just get in front of the camera because your competitor or someone you know is getting in front of the camera. And one thing I see right now is we're obviously doing YouTube with you guys, and then there's other top agents like Will Sawyer and all of those people who are local. And one thing I'm noticing is realtors are seeing that you guys are getting results, he's getting results, all these people are getting results, and they're trying to just recreate the same video. Or if we do a listing video and we get creative with our listing videos, I see other agents almost word for word copying our script. And it's good that they're at least in front of the camera, but take the time to come up with your own script.
thing.
Yeah. Because a copycat is never as good as the original, and it shows. So props to realtors who are starting to get in front of the camera, but I will say right off the bat, as soon as you get into content, try to be as unique as you can, because you are your brand. So don't go around looking, oh, this person's doing this, let me do that. That's why I can't stand realtors who do TikTok dances and trends, because that will be over and done with very soon. And some people don't think, but I know it will, because people are dying for authenticity. And if all you're doing is just looking like every other realtor with this trendy song, people are just going to keep scrolling. So be authentic, build your brand, take the time to script your videos to fit who you are and not somebody else.
Yeah, the listing videos that we've done lately with you have been a lot of fun, because it's no longer welcome to 123 Main Street. Here, let's go for a tour. This home is blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And those were cool. Like I did a couple that were similar to that. We talked about the house or whatever, but these are way more fun because it makes my brain work a little bit differently. Like, okay, so what is really cool about this house, or what is really, what's going to draw people in? Not just
It's a lifestyle video more than
yeah.
Yesterday when we were shooting with my realtor Elena, I was even telling her, whenever you do a listing video and you're a realtor in front of the camera at your listing, if any other realtor can come in and say this line, then scratch that line and make it as unique as possible. 90% of realtors right now, what do? They get in front of the camera at their listing and they say, welcome to my listing at 1234 Verde Farms. And nobody cares about the address. Nobody cares about how many bedrooms or square footage it is. That can all be found on the post, and it'll say on Zillow, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. Or that can be found in the description. What you have to do when you're on video is you have to sell not only the area, but sell the lifestyle. And too many people just try to sell the home. When we shoot with our agents, I'm very transparent with them. I tell them, my goal is not to sell the house. The house will sell if it's priced correctly, if there's great curb appeal, if everything is in tip-top shape, it'll sell regardless of my video. My job as the video is I want the neighbors to see this video. I want your competitors, I want future sellers and buyers to see this video and go like, hey, Craig and Annie their videos are completely different than all these other realtors who are just cookie cutter. Welcome to my listing. Welcome to my listing. Welcome to this 3-bed, 2-bath. So that's what I tell people. Like my number one goal is to not just sell the house. My goal is to land you 10 more deals with every listing video. Because at the end of the day, realtors can lose that listing, and you just wasted money paying your videographer, hoping to sell this house, but you landed no other deals outside of that. So both realtors and the videographer need to be on the same page that the number one goal is, we want to sell the house, but we need to land more deals. Because if we don't have more deals, they're out of business, you're out of business, nobody wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I know we've experienced, like when you're shooting, the neighbor coming over.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it is. I'm always the one to deal with the Karens of the neighborhood, and then like the tough gun owners who just come out and can't mind their own business. But yeah, my drone gets shot at, then people approach me. Not too long ago, I was shooting a house and my realtor just left, and the neighbor shoots at my drone twice and then approaches me with the gun. And you just kind of have to, try to make friends with him because your life is, at risk here. But that's the biggest thing is that we deal with is usually when we're flying the drone, someone will have a problem with it, and they don't own the air rights, but they think they do. And I'm like, if you own the air rights, then why don't you shoot down every bird that flies, through, but I guess they just focus on the drone. But I understand it because some people have kids and then there's a drone just hovering there. And we don't even notice them. We're shooting the house, but, so I get it. Sometimes you have to give people grace, but
I just found that funny. We were talking about it one time, and sure enough, the neighbor come out and was like, what y'all doing?
Yeah. One time I think, I had a mom come out, and she was with her kids. She brought them over. And then there was another guy who was cutting down trees, and he had a chainsaw. And I even asked her, I was like, so that's fine that there's a guy in your neighborhood with a chainsaw next to your kids cutting down trees, but me flying a drone, that's what got your attention apparently. So
I got one more for you. Why do you think realtors struggle so much with marketing?
I think it's because even their brokers don't know what marketing is. And a lot of realtors, about 3 years ago when I moved here, I would go into offices and hand out my business cards and shake their hand and offer them all this video content. Because where I come from in Seattle, video was heavy even 5 years ago. Here, not so much. And so when I moved here, I would walk in and they would just say like, oh, we're still taking iPhone photos, like video doesn't work and things like that. 3 years later, the ones who are doing video are the ones at the top of the list at the end of every month. And the ones who are non-existent on video, I don't even see them posting much anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe from friends and family, they'll get listings. But, and so I think realtors struggle because they're part of teams that don't push video. They're part of brokerages that tell them, save your money, do iPhone photos. This is just a $250,000 listing. Like, it's not worth it. But I believe in how you do anything is how you do everything. So even if you list land for $75,000 or a house for $150,000, when a seller who has $1 million starts looking at, and they will, if they have a big house that's worth a lot, they're going to do their research on you. And if you have a track record of every home starting from 100,000, 200,000, all the way to the millions, if every house at least has professional photos, you have a track record of not cheaping out. Mm-hmm. And I'll use that word because I don't care. Like, it's true. Like, a lot of realtors just cheap out. They try to save that dollar, but saving that dollar might be costing you business in the long run. Mm-hmm. Because those $1 million listings, they're going to look at your last 5 years of transactions and see, oh, this one didn't have photos. And outside of listings though, when it comes to video marketing and YouTube, I think realtors just struggle because they don't know what they're doing, like I said before, and they don't know who to reach out to, because every videographer thinks they have the answer, but not everyone has that proven track record. So what I would recommend to realtors is don't be afraid to try out different people. If you don't have results, just like realtors, if they can't sell your home, you can go with another realtor who can. Yeah. Or if your realtor can't find you that house, or you're having bad communication with them, it's okay to try out a different one. Yeah. And same thing with videographers. But with videographers, I would suggest, one thing I was telling my realtor the other day is realtors will see what another videographer is doing well for their competitor, and they'll leave their current videographer to go chase that one. I'll stick up for the videographers for 1 second. Realtors need to take their time before they leave their videographer. Sit down with your videographer and ask them, is this something you could do? Just because you like what a different videographer is doing doesn't mean you have to leave yours to go chase them. It's okay. Like, most videographers, the reason why they might not be producing the type of content you want is because you probably never asked them, you know?
Yeah.
And he's been giving you discounts for the last 3 years, but you're just going to drop him and go. So don't do that. If you're a realtor, sit down with your videographer, come up with a good game plan, see if he could deliver on those results. Cause I'm sure they can.
Yeah.